drums they're actually brand new to me. This is maybe the 5th gig that I've done on them. And they are CNC Player Date 1 mahogany, I think they're 5-ply. I've got 22 by 14 bass drum, a 12 by 8 rack tom, and then round here I've got a 14 by 14 floor tom and a 16 by 15 floor tom, both on legs. I do like hanging toms in the studio, but I like to be able to move stuff about and not affect the cymbal positions in a live setting. As an auxiliary snare, I'm using a Ludwig 400, which is 14 by 5 from 1964, and which is tuned a little bit higher and a little bit looser with the snares. And then as a main snare, this way, I'm using a 14 by 6.5 Ludwig Black Beauty from 1989. Which is the same year that I was born. So we're kind of brothers. Yeah. Which is tuned a little bit deeper, a bit thuddier. So drum head wise, I play Remo. So on the auxiliary snare, I've got a coated Ambassador and a Ambassador snare side hazy on the bottom. Pure sound wires. On the Black Beauty, I've got a Remo Ambassador X on the top and an Ambassador hazy side on the bottom, again with pure sound wires. On the toms, I use, on all 3 toms, I use coated Emperors on the top and on the bottom. Try and get that, try and get that fat, warm sound. I'm not massively into clear heads, as you can see. And then on the bass drum, I use the Power Stroke 3 coated with a little Kenville kangaroo skin bass drum target. So I play Sabian. So hi-hat wise, 15-inch Artisan lights. They're really nice and creamy. Left hand, so I don't really like calling them crashes or rides. I prefer kind of, they're just sort of sound sources, you know, that I can play however I want to, with or without Wilkinson bath chains. This is a 20-inch Artisan light again, which they don't call them crashes or rides either. On the right, as a kind of ride, I'm using a 21-inch HH Vanguard. It's a bit smaller than I usually play. I usually go 22 or bigger, but at the moment this is working really nicely. It's nice and thin, so I can again play it however I feel like in the moment. And then on the right side, I've got a 20-inch HH Vanguard, and then this is actually a prototype that I picked up in Maxwell's shop in New York.
Oh really?
Yeah, they funnily enough, they've got loads of Sabian prototype stuff. It's a bit trashier, a bit darker, and it opens up really nicely for the end of a big fill. So stick-wise, I use different sticks for different songs because they do change the sound of the cymbals. They change the way you play. My grip changes with different sticks. So at the moment, I'm really into these SD2 Boleros from Vic Firth. I'm a Vic Firth boy, so always Vic Firths. I also use these Peter Erskines, which is a bit thinner, a bit longer, a bit more clarity on the tip. Also, I've been known to use some Pete Lockett sort of signature sticks, some Steve Gadd's. It kind of changes, you know, song by song. T1 Generals as mallets. They're good for anything general, really. And then brush-wise, Vic Firth Heritage brushes, the only brushes I've ever used. They're the best. I really like the weight, and all my heroes played them, so I'm a very lucky boy. Yeah, Spd-Sx from Roland. Shout out to Roland, where I trigger any kind of samples that need to be added to tunes. Also, I'm using the snare triggers, the RT30H, the single and the dual. So on this one, I've got a dual set up, so on one of the tunes, Getaway, it only triggers my sound when I play a rim shot. So I've got the middle of the drum like that, and when I go, it goes like a camera shutter. So that's pretty cool. And then I run round to a KT10 down just next to my DW9000, which I use for any kind of bass drum trigger sounds.
Do you have percussion as well as the kit?
Yes, always percussion. I started on percussion before I played kit, so I always try and bring as much percussion as I can to the kit. I think it's hugely underrated craft and very important. It can make or break a track. On my rig, I've got this Gonbot mounted tambourine. I've got this Gonbot wooden one which I use as on a hi-hat stomp, and I've got this Brazilian basket shaker called a kashishi, which I get from the central market in my dad's hometown when I go. And this is my favorite instrument in the world. I love kashishis. They're very fluid, and so I use this on a tune called Barcelona. In one of the tunes, we have a bit of a carnival break out into a carnival samba band thing where all the guys in the band pitch in with some different percussion. I'm busy on the kit doing lots of different things, and the other guys are using stuff like this. Mr. Chris Dagger, the bass player, gets to play this absolute monster of a shaker called chocalho from the samba schools in Brazil. And Mr. David Klinke, our guitarist, is playing this amazing tamborim from Contemporânea, Brazilian percussion make, which is also really loud, quite sharp. Hi, my name is Fabio de Oliveira. I'm drummer for George EZRA here at Birmingham O2 Academy, doing a bit of a rig rundown with the guys at Sound Attack in Colchester. Shout out to Sound Attack, thanks a lot for coming, thanks for watching, and keep watching to see my rig.